Travis Wingezel. I guess I'm long overdue for the next stage of mission life. In my playlist that only has one video, the Patriarchal Blessing. So let's get at it. The next stage is getting the mission call. So, background. I went on my mission at 19 years old because it was Monson that changed the age to lower it down to 18. And so after graduation, I'm already got my Patriarchal Blessing. Mom made sure I got my Patriarchal Blessing. Mom made sure I got my Eagle Scout. Almost didn't get it because I was honest. But got it because I was honest. And made sure that I received or ordained an elder before I left for Rick's. But not ordained or not through the temple. And so there was a difference there. And so no magic or covenant underwear now. And so, yeah, I still had my Aaronic priesthood wear at Rick's that first year. And so I went to Rick's to get away from my family. See, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints claims to be Christian. They're supposed to be Jewish, but instead they're practicing Lucifer's plan of happiness and taking away agency of Mormons and trying to enforce that on the rest of the world. And so I rebelled, because that's Lucifer's plan of happiness. I get taught this, born and raised in the covenant Mormon. I know exactly what Lucifer's plan of happiness is. I want nothing to do with it. So I rebelled against my family. I was the black sheep, as the firstborn birthright blessing son. And so, yes, graduation time came. I'd already learned that I'm good for nothing from the career aptitude tests. And so as far as my mind could see, I was just going to get myself a job working at Blockbuster Video and have myself an apartment somewhere and live my life watching movies for the rest of my life. No woman loved me. Everybody hated me. And so, yeah, I went to Rick's College. My dad's family, parents from there. As my grandpa had run a farm, and by then he had retired, being pretty much forced out by the big corporation farms. But he sold it early to retire and got very rich off of that. He had built his home there in Rick's, as it was the only house that stood from the flood, from the Teton Dam, because he's a carpenter. He built it to last. And so I had lots of good memories up there at Rick's College, or Rick's, not Rick's College, as whenever we would go up there to visit. I had the Bowen family, cousins that were up there. Kathy had married Phil Nyber, and they ran the hot springs up there. And so lots of good memories of that life. So when I went up to Rick's, which my basketball coach was furious and upset and made it known at the banquet, he didn't understand. I had a great professional basketball career ahead of me, and I want to go to Rick's? Where's Rick's? Do they have a basketball team? And so yeah, I threw away an MBA with the Lakers to get away from my family. And so the first semester I'm there, I do the typical thing of taking course curriculum stuff and loading up my schedule, and I'm already burned out from school, and so that wasn't a good thing to do. And so in the second semester, I just threw it all away and took all sports courses: basketball, tennis, skiing. Yeah. And I just sloughed that second semester. I did take interior design because I was interested in that. I had initially tried architectural design the first semester, but realized that with computer technologies, architectural design was going to be obsolete. People can now just program blueprints on a computer program. And so I realized that was going to be a dead-end job. And so, again, good for nothing. And I was in Ensign Hall, the dorms. I can't remember the name of the other one. There were two, and they're now gone. And the women's dorms, they had 6 sets. They had 2 dorms per set, and they were all there together. And so this was the first time where I was immersed with Mormon women my age. In Southern California, I didn't have that. It was only at church and combined activities during the week, if any. And they limited those. We didn't get much time together with the couple of women my age. And it was split too. I grew up in the Corona ward, and it wasn't until I left for Rick's that my residence got moved into the Norco ward with a whole different group of girls my age who I had gone to the same high school with, but they were never in any of my classes. They were always in other stuff, and so I never saw or associated with them other than a combined stake activity, which were usually the dances. But after the first one, when nobody wants to dance with you and she says she's got a headache and she stays there and doesn't go home, why am I here again? Which just made prom a nightmare. And so yeah, this was a new experience for me, because the girls in Southern California are different. And so I was used to them. And so getting to Rick's, immediately on the first day, all of these Mormon girls, who I don't know who they are all smiling and saying hi, initiating saying hi. In Southern California, you keep your head down. You do not make eye contact, you do not talk. And to show that you're the better man, you let other men go by first. And so, yeah, usually there's a nod that occurs for acceptance of that culture. And so, yeah, this was a weird Pleasantville experience for me. And the dress code was such that you had to wear collared t-shirts. Whether they were long sleeve or short sleeve, didn't matter, you had to have collars. You couldn't have just a regular t-shirt. You're naked. It's not approved. And so, yes, the Mormon standards and values are more extremist at the universities. But it didn't matter. I was already wearing collared shirts because of my Magnum PI, Miami Vice, Simon and Simon days. And so, yeah, I did the t-shirt with the short sleeve button down that I left open. That was my style. And so it was rebellious yet conforming at the same time. I'll try to get the picture of the students from 1987, which was the year before I went there, so that you get an idea of what the typical dress standards were for men and women. And so, yeah, I did not tuck in my shirt. Was not a preppy. And so, yeah, it was very weird. And so it was also new because at Rick's, I never had to ask any of the girls on a date to the various dates that were available, the dances and stuff. I was always asked before I even knew that they were going to be in existence. And so, yeah, Rick's was literally paradise. More than 72 virgins, more than the 10. But no touchy, it's evil. Sex is sin. And so is sex thoughts. Turn it off. And, but no, this was the first time I actually get to be with women, talk with women, and they're not running away screaming. This was awesome. My whole life, I've had to stay in the shadows observing women, doing women's fashion with the fashion plates and all that stuff, and never be able to actually have one-on-ones with women, getting to hear what they think and communicate with them and all that stuff. So this was awesome. It was a dream come true. And so when I realized that the regular continuation of high school was not what I wanted, which you sit in a classroom, you have textbooks, you're supposed to read and memorize the textbooks to regurgitate it on a test. I'm not learning anything this way. I don't memorize, I associative memory. And so, yeah, it was just a waste of my time to pursue the regular course curriculums. And so, with my off time, I went to the girls' dorms and found in the first two closest to where I was from Ensign, which plus the one where I was a home teacher of one of the women's dorms. And so I would hang out there as the home teacher. I don't know if we ever had a lesson. I just went over to make sure everything was doing fine. How you doing? Just checking up on you. I'm your home teacher. Guess that's how it's supposed to be. But nonetheless, yeah, the one woman in the dorm that I was home teaching was my first date. She was the first one to ask me out on to one of the dances, and I should have her, but I don't think it got transferred from my computer to this one yet, since the Valentine's Day massacre. No. Yeah, none of that lasted. So I'll have to go back and find them again. But I would eventually get involved with Dorm 2, the one in the middle, closest towards Ensign Hall. And the women were more receptive there, that's why. And so there was several that I would frequent whenever they were available to be home. And they were concentration camps, in case you didn't know, and available to go in during the day, but come curfew time, all of a sudden the electric fence and dogs and alligator pit comes out. And you have to stay away. And so I found myself spending a lot of time with Tricia Wingate, and mostly because of her roommate, who was a redhead. They had two sets of roommates. There were 2 bedrooms, and they had 2 beds in each bedroom, and so there were 4 women per apartment, and they had kitchen and all that stuff. Or at least the one that I was in. I guess there might have been ones that didn't, like the boys' dorms don't have kitchens. We would then get a lunch pass to have our meals at the Man-Wearing Center. But yeah, I spent lots of time with Tricia Wingate, and she, in return, would have me involved with activities and stuff, not just what was available at Rick's. I went with both her and her roommate, the little redheaded girl, who I had a crush on but could never have a crush on, because as a Mormon, I assumed that I would go on a mission, but I didn't know how it was going to happen and didn't think about it. I'm in paradise right now. I don't want to be bothered. And so I realized that because I'm not a returned missionary, I'm not gonna get my heart broken by getting in a romantic relationship with any one woman, because if I do end up going on a mission, I'll just get one of those Dear John letters that I've heard about from returned missionaries, who would then go off and marry one of the other girls when he returns to Rick's within 2 weeks. And so, yeah, I Remember one time Trisha called me up in the middle of the night. It was a complete blizzard, a whiteout blizzard. She's calling me up and saying, "Hey, you want to come for a walk with me and the roommate?" "Yeah, be right over." And so I sneak out of my dorm, hop the fence, leap over the alligator pit, and meet them. And we went walking on the train tracks there in the middle of the night. And when I got home, yeah, I was completely frozen with ice all over me, and hopped in the shower, and all of the chunks came melting off. But yeah, those were good memories. And so one time when I'm hanging out with Trisha, this was in the second semester, and just out of the blue, she says, "Come with me." Okay, whatever. And it's in the evening time, and we're walking off campus and going to one of the residential houses. I'm saying, what's this? "This is my bishop's. You're going to go apply for a mission." "I am, huh?" She was getting rid of me. She was realizing that the end of the school year was coming, and I wasn't doing anything to go on a mission, and I guess she didn't want a puppy dog, and didn't understand that I actually had the crush on her roommate. But yeah, I went in and did the interview questions with the bishop, which, thanks to Nelson's updated version, I have those on the computer. Plus, thanks to an anonymous source who snuck them in so that I could have them. And they were different back then. There were some changes that have happened over the decades. But I don't think faith was a part of it. Well, maybe it was faith, not testimony. Do you have faith in God the Eternal Father, and in His Son, Jesus Christ, and in the Holy Ghost? Okay, sure. Do you have faith in the atonement of Jesus Christ and His role as Savior and Redeemer? Well, I'm not sure if that one was in there, because like I said, these are the updated versions from April 12th, 2024. But the basic kinds of questions for loyalty to the church. And do you believe that President Benson is authorized as prophet, seer, revelator, and the only person on the earth to exercise all priesthood keys? Okay, whatever that means. Title, huh? Titles. And then we get down into the more icky questions. Are you a drunken lush? Are you a toker? Nope. Never touch the stuff. Do you drink coffee or tea? Nope. And this is new. Do you strive for moral cleanliness in your thoughts and behavior? I've got a date with one of my hoes tonight, Bishop. I'm striving. And then the one we got asked, do you obey the law of chastity? I'm striving. I'm striving real hard. And so, the one about honesty, it's again, strive to be honest. Are Mormons incapable of actually being honest, that they have to strive to be honest? Dear God. And, where's the one? They took it out. Is there anything in your life that needs to be resolved with the priesthood leader but hasn't? Now they have, do you consider yourself worthy to enter the Lord's house and participate in temple ordinances? So yeah, there's the video we had on repentance, where the girl is going in for her interview to be sealed in the temple and receive the underwear. And she is asked that question back in my day time. And for some reason, she didn't say, nope, I'm good, let's go. Instead, she says, well, there was this boyfriend years ago, and we don't know what happened, because then they pan to music as she's now crying, and the bishop is going, no. Just say no. And so yeah, obviously, I don't talk about R-rated movies. That was never the question. Benson came out in '86. I'm forced to read Miracle of Forgiveness before I go, but no additional question on the temple recommend interviews. Do you watch R-rated movies? Nope, not there. I'm good. Can you imagine the nightmare of Mormons? I can already see it coming. Do you watch apostate anti-Mormon Cora Horde channels on YouTube? It's other social medias? Oh dear God. And so, yeah, we also had, do you affiliate with any organization that is contrary to the teachings of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints? I do remember that one. That's gone. They don't have that one anymore. Apparently you now can affiliate with apostate groups and satanic cults. Church doesn't care anymore. But yeah, I then go back home realizing that I got dumped off by Trisha. It's a little different than Trisha. It's Trisha. And so I would call her and let her know, and now she's brushing me off. She's now saying that she's got new friends and they smoke and they go up to where the temple now is located, where they desecrate the land with their smoking. She was trying to get rid of me. And I'm like, what are you talking? What are you doing? She wouldn't be honest. Just be honest. Just say you don't like me. You never wanted to be with me. And you never bothered to think maybe I liked the little redheaded girl, but I'm going on a mission, so I didn't want her writing to me and then giving me a Dear John letter. because she can't wait for me for 2 years. And so, also got to understand that Mormons in the States have an exceptionally high stress level when waiting for their mission call. Because we all get teased, or the jokes are told so that we're bullied in advance of our mission call, if we go stateside for our mission. That's the ultimate shame. If you can't go foreign, you are a loser. And so yes, that is a concern. Oh no, am I going to go to Colorado, Wyoming, or even worse, Utah? Now, I told you about the Patriarchal Blessing in the previous one, in which I was told that the mission would be in a distant land that I've never been to, and blah, blah, blah. And so I had that faith and hope, spiritual witness. But, yeah, I was kind of concerned. As Keith Fenstermacher from Southern California, he went to Australia. Wayne Mills, I think he went to Paris, that bastard. And so, yeah, the pressure is already on. It could have, well, I don't think it was UK. And then the other guy, I think his name was Ron, he chose not to go on a mission, or at least not yet. I don't know if he ever went. Never followed him. It was just the word of mouth through my mother. And so, yeah, the pressure was on now. Everybody else was going to a fun place. Oh no, here I go. Rexburg, Idaho. No, I finally get it. I'm there at the dorm. I get mail, and the dorm father, or dorm mother, I think, actually was the, well, I know balls. But anyway, I got the mail. They handed me the mail. And I opened it up. I didn't know if I'm supposed to do any kind of ceremonial opening or do something dangerous to find out if it's a boy or a girl. I just opened it. New York, New York. And so, yeah, I started singing, start spreading the news. Yeah, New York, New York. So that was a relief. It's stateside, but it's New York. And come to find out, it was the second highest expensive mission in the mission field back then. This was before the church leveled the playing field for all missionaries. Which kind of is not cool either, because each mission is a different economic living. But regardless, yeah, and so I'm not paying for it. I'm not participating in the pyramid scheme of the church. My parents are. There was no way I was going to pay for it. When I had my 3 jobs, my goodness, I used the money to buy cassette tapes. I'd go to McDonald's before I knew the McDonald's sucked. I should have gone to Wendy's, or at least Carl's Jr. And the scratch and sniff gambling cards, which I estimated that I only won about $20 out of spending $100. That was about the way it was. And so, yeah, there's no gambling addiction when it's obvious that I don't benefit from it. So, yeah, I do remember the McDonald's Monopoly game getting involved in that and realizing that they purposely screw you over to make sure that you go and buy food from them more often to get screwed over anyway. The trick is to travel the United States and eat from them, and thus get the unique little token things or whatever. So yeah, nobody in one particular area going to the same restaurant over and over again will ever win anything of extreme value from McDonald's. It was a trap, but that's pretty much how it goes with the mission call. And so the next in the episodes would be the temple. Ooh, remember, this is 1989. I've been warning you that I've done the videos telling you about it too. I went when I had to kill myself. We actually had knives, sliced our throats, blood everywhere, carnage. So that would be next. The first time in the temple. Getting the underwear. The wedgie experience.